Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 156. Already I see a technical problem happening, and I will cue the music and intro and we'll just keep an eye on it. Good Google. Okay, seems to be working and fixed. Okay, good to be back. Yes, hopefully it's going to be another fun live stream, recapping some of the stuff that we were looking at previous lives, and get some updates on what's going on out there in the UFO world, and we'll have a look at some UFO stuff to do with videos and MUFON and stuff. So yeah, have I paused that? No, I haven't. Okay, let's switch to my desktop. I think it's all working. Just got my preview window up here. Does seem to be a bit behind there. What's going on? On out there in the UFO world, and we'll have a look at some UFO stuff to do with video. Okay, I must have paused it. So it looks like it's all working. Okay, so not sure who's out there, if anyone's going to be joining me, but I'll just do my thing like I always do. Looks like John's not joining us, but looks like it. So yeah, I better read his private message on the other screen. Yeah, fair enough. So I've got a lot of tabs here open, as you can see again, but yeah, one of the topics is quite complex about entanglement, and so I'll leave that to a day where I think I'm able to be less tired, because I had about 7 hours, no, not even 7 hours, 6 hours sleep. So yeah, it's always full on in the UFO community. There's always stuff going on, always stuff you have to read up and try to make sense of. But if you follow me on Twitter and Discord, you will know that. So let's just type up a welcome message. So get my fingers working. Now, there's been a few attacks again with Secureteam, as well as people being woken up when they find my videos about him, and the misinformation and hoaxes that he's done. So the current one going around is the thing with the flare. He was telling everybody it wasn't a flare. So I might just show that one first of all, just get it out the way with. So we know which one we're talking about. I think it was this one. I better watch out for the sound. Always loud, isn't it? Yeah.
Many of them not
I think that's going to the right place.
Going out because they don't want the stuff we're talking about getting into the mainstream. And so be sure to subscribe.
I notice he hasn't got caps on that one. So let's see, where does it begin? Probably should be able to find the original video, really. Let's see. Was it from Finding UFOs? Again, I've talked about this before, about mates, UFO forwards sharing their material with each other and not doing any proper analysis on it. Hate things that autoplay. So, was it on this one? Because you can see it didn't link straight to the video, it linked straight to his channel, which is not good. Should have linked straight to the video in question, but yeah, just sloppy. Okay, so he's showing this video here, claim it to be a UFO.
Subscribe, and at the very least, check back to the main channel once a day, maybe once or twice, just to see if I've posted a video, because notifications for many of you just aren't going to do it. And so it's about 3:30 a.m. where I am, peak insomnia team hours, and even though I posted a video, I saw this footage, and it really, really has got me scratching my head, and I knew it would you guys too, and I think it goes to a bigger picture of cases that we've been seeing lately that are very simple.
Okay, I can't listen to too much of that BS. Already you can see here it has the classic signs of a illumination flare, right? Red being dropped. And people just moving it around with the camera as they're trying to zoom in. But we'll see if we can get the full footage here. So obviously they're at the edge of a lake.
Do not believe that these are any type of military flares or anything like that.
Wrong. How do we test for flares? If the video lasts, if the object in the sky lasts more than 20 minutes, you know straight away you can rule out a military flare. Unfortunately, you can see these videos are never 20 minutes long. So yeah. So if we had a link to the original footage, which we don't have here, we're about to see that the other video isn't even 20 minutes long. So.
Because if it's one thing that I've seen in all the years of research trying to distinguish flares from these mysterious glowing orbs that we've been seeing around the world, it's that military flares and flares in general, usually you can see a cloud of smoke trailing off the back of them as they...
Depends how far away you are from the flare in that case. So here you can obviously see it's a closer up of the flare, and it depends how big the flare is, of course. Where you're going to see a trail of smoke. So let's just carry on, because there are examples of illumination flares. Which I've covered before. Motion. Red flares. And they're also used for targeting. They can drop it and they can shoot them at the sky and use it to calibrate guns. So we got some pictures of illumination flares. Right, and you can see there are all sorts of different types of ones you can get. Handheld ones. Ones that you fire up from the ground that have parachutes, and also military planes drop some big ones with parachutes, different sizes. So here one you can see the smoke trail. This one you can't see the smoke trail. I wonder if we can get some better snaps. Here's some that you don't get the smoke trail, but you also can see there's a smoky sort of haze around it. And there's some other ones. But what people can do is they can actually connect these to drones and light them off and fly them around. These little handheld ones that you see here. You can get them pretty cheap now, but like buying fireworks really. And like I said, they have a certain burn time. Getty Lee, hey babies. It's just me tonight, by the looks of it. Not sure where John's got to. I think he's tired from his sickness he had, and he fell over and hit his head and stuff. So he's a bit beat up at the moment. So we can sort of manage without him today if that's need be. Because here's one here, very similar. Can't see a smoke trail on that one. And this one's called lead and laser flares, so you can actually buy ones that run off battery now and last forever. Because you know how long batteries last with lead lighting. Here's some that's close up. That's got. They're not actually limitation flares. These ones. These are different type ones with the trailers as well. They're anti. What do you call it? Missile flares, right? Heat-seeking missile flares. They got various flares they can drop. Yes, so they got ones that run off battery, last about 300 hours, I think I read, just off a couple of batteries, small batteries in it. So maybe they've become more popular for boat flares, right? Which you expect to see on lakes. So yeah, there's no mystery why you'd see a flare over a lake. Probably someone's trying to signal for help and people are videoing and saying, look at the UFO.
They fall to the ground, and they simply do not sit stationary in the sky.
Well, they do if they've got parachutes on. It depends what type of flare there is. So he's giving you lots of misinformation here to load you up, to try and get you thinking. It's a bit like how they do it on TV. They sort of load you up with these facts and figures and things, and then they show you the information, the video. And so we'll just carry on.
Flare, it is going to, without a doubt, head in one direction, and that is towards the ground before it burns out. Whereas here,
Okay, so again, we've talked about people hoaxing stuff, using flares, LED lights, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, sort of almost brainwashing people what to think before they go ahead and watch the footage. Instead of watching the footage and then analysing it, he's telling you what he thinks it is, right? Well, I tend to look at a video and then say, what do you think, guys? And then if people have their opinion, I sort of then start breaking it down, and so we can get some better ideas of what's going on. But again, you can see here we've got lack of information, date and time, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty badly put together. So yeah, we got John spouting down the side here. Is it? Oh no, not John. Hey you guys, how's it going? The man protector. Yes, we got a few topics to cover tonight. I'm just going over this flare video over a lake with the boat. So I'll just see if I can get to it, because at the moment it keeps loading it up. Keeps telling people what to think rather than just watching the footage.
The ship and continuing on its way. And so, without further ado, check out this footage, and we will talk more in just a second, and how it correlates to some other very famous sightings of these things around the world, but also in or around the lakes of Michigan in particular.
Look at, watch. Trying to stay right on it. Oh, you can see the ship coming into focus. I'll try to focus on the ship. Because look, it's almost touching.
Okay, so again, you can see the ship was just coming into focus, which means it's further behind than the object in the sky here. Maybe someone's let off a hand flare asking for rescue, and they might be just coming closer to see if they can spot any ship in distress. I wonder if there's been more information put out about this particular case, but we'll just keep on watching it.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, if that was over the ship, you'd expect to see some lighting, of course, wouldn't you?
It's got to be right above the ship.
You can see how it's sort of moving. I don't think it's the ship moving. I think the ship's far away. I think it's the object moving. Although it's very hard to tell, because we've got no reference point to a land, right? Or a lighthouse or something like that.
Hovering above the deck. Yeah, but they have to be able. That's got to be so bright on that ship. Yeah, somebody's got to be able to see that on that ship.
In fact, it could even be a really, really massive a flare that's way behind the ship too. We've got to keep that in mind, because we've got no depth perception here. I'm more likely to believe it's something in between the camera and the ship, though. Just the way that the camera come into focus. I mean, when the ship come into focus, when they're focusing on the light.
Oh.
But again, we've still got no reference points. It still could be illumination flare that's sort of blown along in the wind. You can see it's quite gusty there. And it could, because we've got no reference to land or other lights, and the ship seems to be, maybe the ship's moving and the light's pretty much stationary, because it's sort of like an optical illusion going on here. And the only other possibility is someone's put a flare in their hand, and a boat on the water's going along is another possibility, and that's closer to the camera than we think, and of course it looks like it's above the ship. And of course the third possibility is that someone's trying to hoax it by putting a LED flare, maybe, because they don't have to have smoke, as we just found out. But if you look at that though, there doesn't look like it's got some smoke vapor trails going off it. Looks like a lot of smoke and smoky haze in the air there. So could it be like a normal flare that's been attached to a drone? So yeah, these are all the questions that you need to be asked and do some research on to get some more information. I don't think it's been submitted to what's going on here. You might be posting too many messages in a short time. It's sort of coming up. Tyler is yeah, oh yeah, you're swearing, that's probably it. Video quality is crappy, yep. Of course nighttime stuff is because low quality light, and of course everybody uses their smartphone and not these high-end Sony sensors. I need to zoom back out a bit. Okay, so yeah, you probably noticed all the things I have problems with this video that's being pushed as a possible UFO, and there's a lot of explanations that need to be looked at before you say something is a real alien craft, of course.
Maybe it's just a flare. I don't know.
No, flare seems like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was 3 when I first looked at it.
Okay, so
And it pulses like it gets brighter and then
that's a
dimmer.
clue there, because he said there was 3 when he started looking at it. So that's typically what flares do. They shoot off a few, and time he gets the camera going, it's 20 minutes past and the flare's gone out.
Now it's getting dimmer and dimmer.
Getting dimmer, so obviously it's burning out.
Almost gone.
So that sort of rules out a new age lead flare, so we're talking about on that other page.
No.
Hey look, another one's just coming in, and while the other one's dying out. So it must be maybe a plane far away that's dropping them then, in that case.
There's 2.
Two.
Yeah. See, now the bottom one's
Notice how
gone.
that does? The top one comes in and the bottom one disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what flares tend to do when they're dropped at different times. So,
That's how it.
Done that a couple times
The little
now.
one comes up.
done it a couple of times now, so there you go. I think we can conclusively say this is some sort of flare drop,
I don't know.
or someone
Okay, so
firing the flare from the sea level, and it shoots up in the sky. Parachutes open up. There's the other possibility, handheld ones.
as you guys just saw, the way this thing looked to be checking.
Okay, so I think UFO Theatre also had a look at this one and found some comparison videos. I think that was probably all we need to mention on this one, is that he starts putting up random stuff to try and explain it. All different things, right? And that obviously, again, is flares, right? Flares far away so you don't see the smoke. I think that one was debunked, wasn't it? Some military exercise methods. They were doing some military training. But anyway, we'll just close that stupidness down. I think UFO Theatre. Oh yeah, I need to bring that up too. I need to find his page and just go through UFO, not theatre, UFO interest, debunks. He does a lot of these silly ones because they're easy. Easy ones, easy to debunk, you see. Queen Wellington. Not too sure what you're talking about. Best to come on the Discord channel if you want stuff to talk about on the next live, and post links so we know what you're talking about. It's probably the easiest thing. A Discord link, as I said, you can find up on my channel here in the banner. You just have to click the second one in. The first one's Merc store, and the next one's Discord, Facebook, Twitter and Patreon. So you can find it there if you want to get in contact with us. So what's UFO Theatre got up here? A lot of stuff with the stars going on at the moment. Episode 4 of the Unidentified has been out. What's this one here? High altitude balloon. Single little white dot up there. What else we got here? looks like a helicopter from what I'm seeing. Eh? Don't know. It's a bit hard to tell. Looks like there's something at the end there, like a helicopter. What did he say it was? That's a pretty bad photograph. What does he say there? Well, verified hoax frauds. Claim to notice an object. Oh yeah, helicopter, there you go. We could see that by zooming right in. That's what's good about this zoom thing I'm using, called the glass, what's it called now? The glass block. Okay, but we're just trying to find that flare one. Is that more to the stars, is it? Fake UFOs over Turkey. Some CGI video there. Here we go. Have we seen that one before? I think we may have. You can see, to make it more believable, they could easily have got a dozen white balloons, helium balloons, on a sort of like a cloudy day with a good breeze, and just throw them up in the sky. But yeah, that's CGI, guys. Because, how do you know? It's a bit hard to know, but with a bit of research, he found the original source video where they've overlaid the UFOs over top. Okay, here's Secureteam one. I think he may have done a side by side here. Somewhere. Showing the original. But it doesn't matter on that one. So here we go. What's he saying here? Same video was shared by Secureteam. Spheres patrolling our lakes and that. Okay, here he's got a side by side. Hey, New York Post. So this is why Secureteam's picking up subs again. Someone's posting it around the tabloids, and it's getting into the paper. No one does any investigation apart from us guys on YouTube here, and MUFON of course, and exposes the lies. So New York Post, obviously fake news. So unexplained over lake, and here's the example of illumination flare. So he did side by side here, where you can see it's a pretty good match. And you can see there's a little light down here, which is probably the plane flying around. Probably drop another one. Oh, there we go. Certainly did. Plane flew around here, dropped another one. Just like this video here. So yeah, I think it's no brainer that it's a flare. So we can put that one to rest, I think. And that's about it, I think. Apart from DeLong. He's got a thing here about DeLong was going to show a video on their new series of a UFO shooting a military helicopter. So that would be some interesting footage to see and whether it can be explained. But I didn't see it on the episode last night. So that's kind of strange. So it must be coming out. Probably keep it the best one to last. You're getting picked up a bit. What's going on here? It's because you put the word queen in. You know how the crazy liberal stuff is now. You're not allowed to say certain tag names for gay and lesbian stuff. So a lot of stuff gets picked up now as potential hate speech. So yeah, just want to correct something here. I thought Alien Addict said that he had a tattoo of this Secureteam logo, and I found this old post here that actually said it as a fan in New Zealand. So not all New Zealanders are smart like I am to know not to deface yourself with some hoaxer's brand. So yeah, but I found another one that someone has done, and it's hard to know whether it's like a fake tattoo or whether it's a real tattoo. That one looks like he's got several on his arm or whatever it is there. Bit hairy though. Looks like the inside of the arm again. So yeah, but this is not actually Secureteam's logo. He's just modified Alienware. We did actually go over that and did a comparison, laying over the graphics to prove the point. So long as you don't put Secureteam underneath, you could probably pass it off as an Alienware logo. So it's not so bad. So these are some of these old posts a year ago, I think it is, that I come across. June 2018. Tells you down the bottom here. Oh no, that one's a bit earlier. September 2017, so there you go. It looks too dark to be a real tattoo, isn't it? But it does look like a tattoo parlor behind. But I don't know. To me, it looks a bit ugly. I would have gone for something a bit more stylish, like, I don't know, a Predator. A Predator or something like that would be a lot more better on your skin. Would look way more cool than having that kind of ugly, really. So yeah, that was just getting at that Flare video. So let's have a look at, go back to the other case I was looking at from MUFON, and just go over that and get it out of the way with, and then I'll recap some of the other stuff that we've been talking about. Yep, so what do we got here? Anything I missed? Yeah, trying to keep going. Normally I got some people on here that keep an eye on the side chat for us. So yeah, let's just have a look at the other stuff again, and I think this is new snapshots. I might just bring up the original video again. See if I can find it. And just play it back a wee bit. As you can see, it's getting a bit full. All my previous lives I normally keep sort by date. So it should be up here. TR3b. So this is the original video again. I'll just play it on slow motion. I'll just bring it across and explain it, because now more information has come in. It looks very exciting at first. The guy said he was filming a TR3b, and of course in the video we see this triangle pattern and these three bright lights. But what it turns out, he's actually filming the three bright lights, and I'll explain what they are in a minute. Now it's been investigated and more information has come in. So just slow it down a bit and play it. So at the moment we've got no reference point of which is the direction the lights are going in. So what we thought was he was filming that triangle very badly is actually he's following these three lights. So if you go back here and going, you're seeing these lights here going that direction, and you wonder why he wasn't actually following those three lights, but he's actually following these three lights which are heading off in the other direction, and he's got a light source like a street lamp next to him there that's causing some interference with the low light night vision, and he's following those lights as they're going away. And of course this is blinding the camera. Also, it's not a very high-end camera by the looks of it. It looks like it might be like a mid-range type camera. And then he puts the camera down, looks up in the sky with his own eyes to see where the three lights are going. So that's basically what he was doing. And then later on we spot another three lights going up. Whereabouts is it now? It was there somewhere. Going in the other direction. It might be here. Let me just see. We see some other three lights down here below the lights that's going the opposite direction. So we can now explain it. Whereabouts are them? I think you can only see it on really slow motion. There you go, three lights underneath going that way. But yep, so now the investigators phoned them up, got more information. Apparently they went to the location and started filming the second night to see if they could prove their theory right. And it turns out that these three lights are actually the space station. I'm not sure if the three lights were all the space station or all this group in here. I think it might be that group in there. Apparently it's the space station, and it could be two other satellites that orbit in at the same location. Apparently it's a belt in the sky where there's about 4,000 satellites that seem to rotate around in the same region. So what I did is I started looking for similar cases, well, similar nighttime footage. Looks like I have to go back. Yeah. Of some footage, and I found some images of what a popper night vision actually looks like, and you can see here, you can see a lot more stars. Obviously it's not blinded by a street lamp, or it's more of a high-end camera with better sensor on it, and it's showing more of the stars that you don't actually see with your eyes. So yeah, you only on star charts they only show you the brightest ones. They don't show you all the stars. They only show you the ones that you can see with your eyes generally, or mid-range telescope. Well, these ones you can see with enhancements with the night vision scope. So apparently then the triangle actually stars. As you can see, a lot of these have triangle shapes that show up. So if you've got a low-end camera, or have it dialed back a wee bit to get rid of some of the fainter stars, you end up with the bright ones, and there you go, you get a triangle pattern there and a triangle pattern there. It looks like TR3, and there's a perfect triangle pattern here. You see 3 stars in the middle there, and of course that's the space station in this one. So this one's a lot brighter, you see, than the other video that we're looking at, but that's going in the other direction, I believe, instead of going this way. I suppose it depends what side of the state you are in when you're aiming the camera up the sky to see the space station going past. But yeah, what I've done is I've made an image here of all the triangles in that footage, and I also have explained what I'm seeing on that single frame of the other camera. And I actually got in the editor equilateral triangles, and you can see it. They near fit the star locations, right? So almost perfect equilaterals, which is kind of amazing what Mother Nature and randomness, you know, actually produces perfect triangles. So yeah, so it's International Space Station, and there's a band of satellites that we're going through. You see more stars than on star maps, which is basically what I said, and you can start to see patterns in the sky that are moving. If you're moving your camera this way, these will apparently go this way, of course, and look like the spaceships moving along in the sky. So you can be quite easily fooled, you see. So we were fooled by that footage at first because we didn't have enough reference points, and we didn't know if it was reflections, LED lights. As you know, you see the bright bits in the LED lights. You don't see it with your eyes, but cameras can pick it up as lens flare. So we weren't sure whether it's reflection on some car door glass or something similar to that. But I did actually do some of these images here to show you the other triangle that was in that footage from MUFON. And if you look carefully, you can actually see some very faint light dots here. Obviously there's star formations, right? But there's you go, there's the other perfect triangle in that photograph of 3 stars. And if we just go on a bit, and there's me overlaying the 3 stars going the opposite direction with this triangle, with the other one that we saw moving off in the sky. And you can see they were totally in different positions. So it could be some sort of what do you call it, star sign in the sky, you know, like a Leo or something similar to that, Libra or whatever it is, that has regular shapes that people see in the sky. And there's another enhancement. Now you can start to see more stars on that frame. Here's the bright lamppost light, and here's the 3 lights going this way. But you can start to see that there's 1, 2, 3. There's the 3 triangle one. There's a star there. There's another star up here. Another star up there probably. Yeah, it's very similar to this one. And there's a regular image of the stars. You can see it almost looks like the back end of Leo. It looks like it might be Leo. There's like a star pattern there. If you have a look at Leo star sign, I think I might have it here. If you look at Leo from the other side, Leo star. Yep. See if we can find an example. Here we go. And you can start to see regular triangle shapes. So Leo is normally a triangle bit with the stars going this way, right? So it looks, if you look at from the other direction, if you flipped it this direction down there, these triangles are going to be over this way, and you're going to see the other lights, little bits of lights. Might be some other ones here. Star map. Oh. Don't want to do that, Google. You want to go in the other direction, really. Let's see. There's a triangle one. You can see there's a lot of regular patterns that people see. Well, it looks like we're not gonna get it to go the other direction, are we? Typical. Let's see, star map. Leo sign, Leo symbol, star sign. Yeah, always the same direction. We want it flipped the other direction where someone's behind. But yeah, I think it was this one, maybe some other stars over this way anyway, and these were floating this way. It could be something like that. But anyway, what was the other images I had here? And there's the first one that was going off this direction here. Obviously it can't be the same star pattern, but you can see that there's a star down there. Looks like a little star here, and that looks like it could be part of the base station here, where they have the big solar panels that reflect back. So we weren't sure whether it's faking it or not with a lead kite, and these were traffic lights. But as soon as the investigator phones up and finds out more information, then you can sort of narrow it down. Oh, what's happened there? So that's it, I think, for that one. Hopefully it's now cleared up. So that was the case 10-10-63 on MUFON. So what's going on here? Okay, we can close that down now. So that could be bringing us to the next topic, I guess. Here we go. Oh, it's 47 minutes already. Okay, time's flying. So recapping, let's see. Oh yeah. I came across this interview that was posted to my last live 155. Apparently, it's an interview with Michael Hall and co-host Chant, where they were talking about Miller saying that that letter he didn't write, or he doesn't remember writing it. And he said he notices some paragraphs that he printed in some letters, and he thinks it's a cut and paste of what he has already out there. Someone's got hold of his letters and spliced it together. So they talk about it in this interview here. I'll play some clip of it, and I'll post a link to it down the side there if people want to listen to it. But what's interesting is further on in the chat, about 55 minutes I think it is, we get this here talking about an Australian researcher. Now I'm in New Zealand, so it's not me. Oh, who's calling? Who's calling? What's going on here? Then he's added me to a group. Oddy boy. How do we stop that? Where's that coming from? Ah, Robert's calling me, not Van. Yeah, so Robert, you're not doing it right, mate. Let's see what he's up to. I think Robert wants to join me. Instead of sending me a text message to start with, he's phoning me up as a personal call. We don't do personal calls when doing live. Let me just check. See, I can't drop them down into here to talk to us because Discord doesn't let us do that. Hang on guys, we got interrupted. Can't even type. Is he there still? It's not too hard, Robert. You're up the top here, mothership, lobby, and next down is live rooms. You got to click down into the live rooms. Anyway, until you figure that out, I'll just carry on. So yeah, I found this UFO NN video, and at 56 minutes, it was about this Australian researcher. I think the name has been told now. She wasn't sure if she could say his name. I think it's in the comments. So he told her that he saw the document 10 years ago. So you remember that we were talking that Greer did an interview, talked about a meeting they had with the DIA in the 90s, but it didn't actually say 1970s, 1997, when it talks about it in the document, right? Another thing is they found out, if you read the document, some street addresses in it, which turns out to be the AG and G building in Las Vegas, which is not the Pentagon. So they met the DIA at the AG and G building, which doesn't match up with Greer was saying with Miller on the radio show, saying they had met the DIA in Pentagon. So is that a red flag? I don't know, but this researcher had a look at the document 10 years ago, which would have made it about 2007, 2008, and he felt it was not authentic. So I'll just play that clip there. So that's the transcript that you can get from the video through this closed captions. So I'm not sure where he's gone. But unless he's listened to the live, you'll never figure it out. Okay, so I'll just post that link there and we'll listen to some of it. UFO in chant. Chant is the female. So we'll listen to the first bit about the document not being fake, and then I'll go back and play some bit at the beginning. See if we can find the right place here.
You don't think someone on Thursday?
What was the timestamp? Well, about 56, 50. It's almost there.
Right. Okay. So let's recap here. You're saying that you recently talked with an Australian UFO researcher who
Yes, I
claimed
did.
he saw this same document
Yes.
10 years ago.
Yes, that's what
Who
he
is
said.
that person?
And I sent him a link to the document directly. He did look at it, and you know, he said that here. Let me see if I can bring that up. Just one moment. There might be some silence for me, Frank. Just so you know, while I bring that up. Just one moment. Okay.
So who is this Australian researcher?
Let me go ahead and read a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to actually give that source away, so I have to be cautious about that. But I'll read a little bit of an excerpt regarding what he did say. Again, there's going to be silence for me, Frank, while I look this up. Just one moment.
Frank likes to interrupt.
Okay.
Yeah, now what's up with Richard Dolan? You know, I think the ball's back in your court. You've got to come up with something a little more than the document itself. Except the obvious things that the location, you're going to need more. And as far as Eric Davis saying no comment, Eric Davis doesn't really hold the UFO research community in very high regard. I think he's on record as having said that. So for him to just say no comment and sit back and, you know, I'm not suggesting Eric Davis is involved with all this coming out, but what I am suggesting is by saying no comment, he gives the opportunity to let a lot of UFO researchers get themselves all wound up over something that I'm not liking the looks of, quite frankly.
Yeah, fascinating. So you've spoken with this Australian researcher yourself, Frank?
For me? Well, yeah, I have many times, but I didn't have.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, interesting. And he confirms that this is the same document that he saw 10 years ago.
Yeah, and what I'm doing is I'm actually, so I sent him a link to the smoking gun transcript. And then what I did was I asked him to review it, and then he responded. I'll let you know a little bit about what he said. But I also clicked on the link right now just to make sure that it's the one that we're covering right now. And it is that link. So I actually just clicked on it just to double check to make sure that is what he was looking at. And he said, I've had it for 10 years. That's what he said. And then he said, I'll tell you a little bit about what he said here. He said, provenance, ownership, exacting content, etc. of this Davis Wilson item will not be agreed upon and not proven at all in 12 months or 5 years or whatever. It will all be a distant, annoying memory and nothing will come of it. There will be no flooding us with alien spare parts. There will be no sudden opening of SAP records on reverse engineering of anything. There will be no comment in the probe from Admiral Wilson. There will be no confirmation of anything whatsoever from the current OSD/US offices. And right now they'll be shrugging shoulders with bemused looks. That's what he said.
Interesting. So he's basically saying that he knows that the provenance is not going to be proven.
That is his perspective.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to get word in terms of who gave the documents?
I don't know.
Right.
I'm not.
And more recently, I mean, Grant was pretty gung-ho about this at first, but really is back. He's not talking about this at all. You are.
So that's basically what I said. I think it's a document that's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to be able to prove it one way or the other. It'll just be one of these annoying documents like the MJ12 ones, where people will be talking about it forever. Unless, because the main reason is Davis has said no comment, and really he's the one that has to come out and say, yes, the document's a complete forgery, the document's partly right and partly wrong, but probably people want to know which parts are right, and then that would cause more problems. So he can't do that because that would be against his NDA, or he would have to say, yes, it's all completely true. But the problem is that everybody's having trouble with is the statement that UFOs are real, but alien abductions are not real. That's going to split the UFO community straight down the middle straight away, because, as you know, most of the UFO people out there are firm believer of alien abductions or contactees, or whatever you want to call it, experiences. And of course it can be proven, because there's so many cases now of where the family members seeing their kid being abducted, right, by aliens, or there's a group of people when it happens. So it's not a mental thing, and it's not sleep paralysis, because it happens in the day. Multiple people see abductions happen, so clearly abductions do happen. So that either means the document is fake, and it purposely put the line in there to try and cause a break in the UFO community, which it clearly has done. So that's my guts of it anyway, and probably Robert's as well, but I'm not sure where he's got to. Robert. watch my live and you can see where you click. It's called live chat room. I said what, not watch. I don't know. Why is people not as technically minded as I am? I'm not sure how you can actually show him how to do Discord when he's in Discord. So you just need to get down to the live room down here, live chat. He's not responding, so I think it must be probably like 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 3, 4 in the morning. I don't know. What time is he up there? He's from UK, right? I can't just drag him in. We can't just simply pick up his name and drag it in. I wish it had that feature though. If I'll tell him to go into the mothership and I'll drag him down. I can do that. Jump into mothership. I don't know why people don't explore it, you know. We got all the text rooms and voice rooms set up there. You just have to pick the right one. He just needs to jump into the mothership and then I can drag him down into the correct room. But he hasn't done that. He did it last night. He did it perfectly fine last night, so I don't know why he's not doing it. Okay, I'll just have to see if something beeps and just carry on. So we'll just play a bit more of this here, but I'll go back to the beginning. Well, not quite to the beginning, where they're talking about Miller response. And they're talking about this AEG, oh, did I say AG&G? It's EG&G. EG&G, egg. Special Projects Building. And they found it on the map here. So I'll just go over that bit there. So my problem is that Greer said on a radio show in 2013 that they met the DIA at Pentagon, and this here is talking about meeting at a different location, not the Pentagon, in 97. So and then the meeting breaks up, and then Wilson and Davis goes to a car and start doing a one-to-one chat that he's documented. So that's where I thought it was 2 meetings, but it actually was a general meeting, well, a group meeting, and then there was a one-to-one meeting afterwards in the back of the car, in the parking lot up here. There's meant to be the building there, right? Yeah, where's a good place to start?
Okay,
And obviously now you've mentioned the scientist, Dr. Eric Davis. I think we have to explain who he is and actually how he got in touch with Admiral Wilson in the first place, because I think that is a part of the story that needs to be told. This is a high-level government scientist. Eric Davis, one of probably the most intelligent hominids on the planet, I'm telling you. And this guy basically has been dogging many of the high-ranking people in the military and everything, trying to find information about UFO crash retrievals. And I want to give kudos initially to Dr. Davis, and then of course to Admiral Wilson for actually even agreeing to have this meeting, where we end up finally getting notes from the meeting about what took place.
Oh, sorry about that, Chan. I thought you were going to jump in there. Okay, yeah. Then they had this meeting, and the very first page of the notes is this meeting is going to take place at roughly the intersection of Greer and Paradise. Now, I don't know if you've run this down, but that is an intersection in Las Vegas.
I probably missed it because of the name Greer in there, because I know they were meeting Dr. Greer, right? So when I first looked at the document, I didn't notice that.
Okay, and the meeting is supposedly at the EG&G Special Projects Building, so we've got the local map up. And basically, there it is, Paradise looks like it's running north to south, Greer roughly east to west. And as you look down the street a little bit on Greer, you see a building URS, and in fact, that is the name of the current parent company or owner of EG&G. I don't know if anybody's run that down and laid that out on a map, but I would have to say it's likely the same building. This is almost certainly where the meeting took place. So I want folks to get a good look at it. That part checks out. That's very good, Michael.
Yeah. And by the way, Dr. Davis is told by his contacts to show up at 10 o'clock sharp a.m. in the morning behind or at the Special Projects Building at EG&G so he can have his meeting with Admiral Wilson. Now, the first note, which is a little humorous, I believe, on this transcript, is a note by Dr. Davis that the Admiral was 10 minutes late. So actually...
Has anyone confirmed that Wilson was in Las Vegas on this date?
I don't know about that. Good question.
That might be something that, okay, going back and asking him, hey, did you meet with Eric Davis and tell him all about the crash retrieval program? He's probably going to say no, but, I mean, if he was there, it said he was there for a speaking engagement, if that was mentioned in the memo.
No.
Wilson's purpose, he didn't travel to Vegas just to meet with Eric Davis.
Yeah, I'm not sure the purpose of him being there, but the idea is that he is pulling up in his staff car with his petty officer driver and two other uniformed officers, naval officers, I believe, in this this staff car, and the Admiral is dressed in civilian clothes in a suit.
Well, he's retired at this point. Is that I believe that is correct.
Yes. Right. He's
so yeah, he's not going to be. And like I said, I believe I can't remember on what page. I really don't want to scroll through that now. But the reason he's there is it is a speaking.
Okay, so this that's a bit confusing. So this he's retired. So that was 2002. So they're meeting Davis in the back of the car. But I thought the meeting talked about the meeting in '97. Wasn't clear whether they just come from the meeting then. It sounds like he was referring to the meeting in '97. In the meeting on 2002, they're recanting, re-talking about the meetings and things that were discussed in the past. So maybe he's mixed up dates there as another possibility. Or it could be complete fabrication, of course. But Greer, he doesn't mention meeting Greer in the Pentagon. Just mentions meeting them in a meeting, I guess. We'd have to go back to the original documents again.
Engagement, and the reason Eric Davis is in Vegas is because he lives there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was finally getting this meeting that he's been trying to get for quite some time, and they actually meet themselves, just the two of them, Dr. Davis and Admiral Wilson, in the backseat of the staff car, while the other guys leave and go to a meeting inside the building. And for the next hour and 10 minutes is basically how this interview took place. And Eric Davis is asking all sorts of questions to the Admiral. This is something that is starting the actual transcript. I believe, by the way, my personal belief is that this transcript is so detail oriented, 15 pages long. I would assume that Dr. Davis is recording this meeting, and he might even be taking simultaneous notes, to kind of supplement it. But I believe the details are so detailed that he probably is recording, and then he's going to transcribe it immediately thereafter or shortly thereafter.
And apparently
well, the notes were actually abbreviations. Well, key points, I think. He probably did record it, and then he summarized the key points in it.
The reason that Wilson is willing to meet with Davis is because of the AOK from somebody named Oki Shannon. Do you know anything more about that fellow? That's a name that's new to me. Have you looked into him much?
Well, I cursorily looked into who Oki Shannon is, and he is a longtime insider military naval commander that is a longtime friend of Admiral Wilson. So basically, Admiral Wilson is telling Davis at this point that the only reason he's meeting with him is Okie Shannon gave him the go-ahead and vouched for Dr. Davis.
I didn't look too closely.
So my problem is with this whole document is Wilson wasn't DI8 in 1999, and he retired in 2002, and he's meeting with Davis to talk about UFO topic and black ops and all that sort of stuff in the back of a car, which kind of sounds crazy. Normally you'd meet in a secure room that that can't be bugged, I suppose, if it's top secret stuff. So that's my problem with it there as well. I don't think even if you had the car engine running, it would mask what was being said, and not with the surveillance technology they have nowadays. But if you had a meeting room inside a safe, right, 3 foot thick concrete wall, probably 5 inches thick lead wall. Apparently they have that type of meeting room in the E&G building. Apparently it's meant to be a walk-in safe, pretty much, and they close the door and lock it, and no one can hear a thing. In the room they probably have a lock that locks it from the inside too. So yeah, but also on that document it talks about meeting Mitchell and DIA, Wilson, and a few other people, Greer, Miller, in 97. But Wilson wasn't the DIA in 97, he was only the DIA in 1999. So yeah, you just have to go back and read the documents again and try and wrap your head around it. So it's a wee bit confusing to me still. And maybe there's some key points there in that document that suggest that it's a fake with the times and dates. But really the only person that can clear it up is Davis, and I think it's not going to go anywhere if that's his notes or it's been modified,
Okie Shannon, but the only...
So I've not heard from John again, so where has he gone? Given up, I think. Too hard basket. Okay, no problem. Just keep listening.
Thing that I really found that was of interest...
And by the way,
I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
well, I understand that Okie Shannon has recently passed away or is so ill he cannot talk or give any information out at this point. So he was quite elderly at this time as well.
Understood. And at the bottom of page 2, the initials JA come up. And, I just mentioned John Alexander. I was trying to think of somebody who JA might be, and those initials fit. Any thoughts on that? Don't trust JA, a liar, blah, blah, blah. Whoever JA is, it seems like the Admiral doesn't like him much.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, this is my understanding that it is John Alexander.
Okay, got it. And then the document kind of shifts gears. And there's a 2-page letter to Davis.
Okay, this is the key point here, the letter to Davis from Miller. From
Will Miller.
Yes, and Will Miller was one of the people present with Stephen Greer and Edgar Mitchell at this initial meeting. So we're talking about Will Miller sending this letter to Dr. Davis in a personal correspondence. Actually, it's about some business as well in this letter that is very fascinating.
Right, and I want to get to that, but I want to tell the folks at home that over the last couple of days, we have had the opportunity to, both Chant and I, to interview Will Miller. And he had some, obviously, some very interesting comments, in particular about the letter here. And I got to zoom in a little bit on my monitor here to read that particular point. Firstly, just let me tell you a little bit about the interview because it was pretty interesting. I think there was some talk actually of having you on Sunday, and I didn't want to do that because we didn't have this bit of information nailed down at that point. So I'm glad we had these last couple of days, and like I said, I was able to talk to Commander Miller yesterday, and then Chant was able to do the same today. And let's see. Oh yeah, well, the point regarding the letter, Miller's comment, I spoke to him yesterday. He had not seen it. He was not even aware that it was out. He, before I was really able to begin the conversation, he stressed skepticism towards any leaked documents, before I could even tell him about this, and his name is all over it. So he was not aware of the recent releases. No one had contacted him about them, so nobody's contacted this guy. Let me jump in here and add that as Eric Davis is basically provided a few different researchers with a no comment. And as far as I know, no one has attempted to contact Wilson. And at this point, I think the thing to do, if you can't pin it down independently, would be to contact him directly and see if he was actually in Vegas on that date to try to, add a little bit more credibility to the document itself. If it would be a problem for you. Let's put it this way: it would be a problem for you, Michael, if it turned out he was actually in Minneapolis on that date, would not?
Well, I am going to defer to Richard Dolan on the actual document itself and how difficult or easy it is going to be to debunk. As you know, basically Richard Dolan is calling this the UFO document leak of potentially the century.
I understand.
And he is also saying that this document is so detailed and names so many people, so many programs, so many dates, that is going to be very difficult to actually debunk itself. So even if someone comes up with information that says that Admiral Wilson was not in Vegas on that day, you got to wonder, why would someone go to the details of this 15-page document and put everything else in order that seems to check out? It's very interesting.
Do you mind?
I mean, I can tell you right now, there are people who like, basically hoaxing the UFO community. I mean, they're out there. It's been done before. But again, let me go a little bit further with my interview with Commander Miller. Now, when I spoke to him yesterday, he could not remember if he had written Davis a letter. He didn't know anything about it. At that point, he hadn't seen him. Chant contacted him today after he did have a chance to look it over, and basically he told Chant that he thinks it might be a cut and paste edit of multiple letters he might have sent to someone other than Davis. He doesn't recall Davis at all. He says, there are a couple things in particular in there. Chant, he mentioned the paragraph mentioning Bob Beckwith. That looked to him like something he definitely wrote, but he also said that he never had knowledge of dealing with recovered ET vehicles, so that section of the letter he would not have written. He's saying that he did not write that. So it looks, his position after looking it over says, it looks like somebody got hold of some correspondence that I sent out, and some of those paragraphs look legit, but some of the other stuff, no, that's not me, okay? So that's where he's at.
He also stated that Eric Davis was not at that meeting with he and Bob Beckwith on that evening, and so he was wondering how anybody would want to connect, or why anybody would want to connect Eric Davis to that period of time regarding he and Mr. Bob Beckwith having that actual meeting, which he did confirm they did have, and so he had a concern about that. And he also did state, as because I had about a 35-minute interview with him today, that this letter was stitched together, and there are a few areas that he knows he's not responsible for at all, like they're fiction, pure fiction, and then other areas that he does say genuinely do sound like what he would write, in the manner and the style in which he would write, but that this absolutely was stitched together. It's literally a collage of information.
And also he had mentioned the sort of the header, the letterhead on it.
Yes, I had more to say on that.
Okay, got it. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead. Sorry about that.
He was going to say, well, basically, I did ask him about that, and he said that anybody can actually take the letterhead, that insignia, and put it on a letter, and so that did make that was not authentic to him, because he said that he would have a much crisper, clearer letterhead. I understand people will say, well, that could be a copy of a copy of a copy. But again, I just want to restate that this letter...
Okay, so that's pretty much all I'm going to play of that interview there. So you can go and listen to the whole hour and a half or whatever it is if you want to. So basically Miller there's saying that some key points there about alien technology not being mentioned, that he thinks the letter is fabrication, that he didn't write it, and so on. So, but a lot of people said, well, what do you expect him to say? He works for the government and he's sort of got to create some more disinformation. So, like I said, these documents are not going to go very far. There's always going to be people making excuses for people coming out saying that they didn't do it, and vice versa. So yeah, probably some of the stuff's correct, you know, in the leak here. Like it's almost like that they would have had a meeting about downed craft, right? And to reverse engineer any technology that might be foreign to them. So if the Russian satellites come down from space, like the Kecksburg Acorn, crashed into a forest, they're going to have a team of responders who go out there, collect it, bring it back to Bigelow or someone like that, a contractor that analyzes it and see if there's any material that's worth reverse engineering to see if they can use it for their own military projects, I suppose. So if it's like a spy plane from Russia that has a problem and crashes onto land in America, obviously they're going to have a team of people that's going to go and pick it up. And it's going to be called an unknown flying object because they don't know what it is until they get there and start analysing it. So it doesn't necessarily UFO mean that it's alien technology. So you can see they're going to have meetings that, and they're probably going to call it UFO or maybe some other sort of name. So it's possible that all that's correct, you know, about the reverse engineering, that they had a black ops project that they were sort of doing on the side that got found out. And then I don't think there's much of the alien body talk in it. No alien bodies, apart from the alien abduction comment. I think we skimmed through it last time. You probably have to go through it again. Yeah, and that's another thing with leaked documents. It's always good to release many pages, so it takes longer to process it all or find problems in it, right? So it takes a lot longer time for people to go back and do fact checking on it. So if you release a document that's 100 pages, right, it's going to take people ages to go through that. And people are just going to release little bits and pieces of it at the time until they find out more later that that's not correct or doesn't add up, right? So it's a good ploy, right? To me, it seems to me like the document was released to cause a problem with To the Stars thing at the moment. They're trying to do a disclosure thing at the moment with the Tic Tac and Navy pilot statements, and this document seems to come in to throw a spanner on the works to try and take people's focus from what's going on TV at the moment with the Navy pilots, and then put focus on the stupid document, which was never get proven either way, right? And it's going to cause friction in the UFO community. And of course the alien abduction part obviously is incorrect, because they do actually happen from research of groups of people that see someone being abducted. So yeah, that's my guts of it all at the moment. I looked at it graphically last time in the last stream, 155, and there was some strange stuff that sort of popped up with the lines, and but because they're JPEGs, and JPEGs are known to have compression artifacts, you really need to get a rescan of it in high quality to be able to analyze it again properly with filters and things. But I can see, I had a feeling that you probably could use half letters of various on the font, and actually assemble a full letter using variations, so it has slight variations in the absorption of the ink on the paper, so it looks like it's more authentic than just a standard font printed out on a computer. So you could make a program that uses the half characters to make a full character, but there's going to be little lines in between. It causes that line to go through the middle of the character, and also top and bottom, how it's been cut, which is what we saw when I analyzed it. And have a program, including spaces, of course, do spaces as well, with little ink smudges and stuff, and then just have a computer program that assembles the letters randomly to letter A using various halves, and joins it together into one square, and then appends the next letter and so on. and then form a sentence out of it, so it looks like an authentic document using the font that was back in those days. Because fonts do slightly change sometimes on computers. Older technology, older Windows newer Windows doesn't have the older fonts. So yeah, even spaces would have the lines going through it using the method I'm talking about. So the document could be faked and it would have lines going right through the document, which is what we saw. So that's one possibility that I was thinking, if you're going to fake it and make a really good job of it, some coder put together some sort of clever script. And of course the slight variation in the shades of whites on the cutout of the font from another document pasted together onto another sheet of paper would actually create the little lines that's going through the letters. Just a gut feeling that could be done, and I'm not 100% sure, I'm just sort of guessing. I thought it may be correction tape there, where they sort of pasted a little strip of tape and this printed over top of it. But I don't think it's that. I don't think that is the case. I think it's going to be a bit like what I'm talking about. It's going to be a bit more clever than that. If it's a fake. So yeah, and those little handprints at the bottom of the page, which could be just, just by pure chance of the bending of the paper and stuff that made these little fingerprints on it, was kind of interesting. But I thought it might have been a watermark that may have been really faint, like a faint white color purposely put behind the font as a practical joke. I don't know, but or maybe E.W. Davis has actually got a watermark with alien hands on it that he puts on his notebook or something. I don't know. So yeah, it's just kind of amusing, really, if anything. But we'll just carry on. Hour and a half already. So what is CE5? So what is CE5? That's the next subject. You've probably heard it with Dr. Greer. I think we come across a page that talked about the 5 CEs, like CE1, Close Encounters of the 5th kind. That's what it stands for. Which means you're actually initiating contact with the aliens. So CE1 is Close Encounters of the First Kind, which is obviously seeing it. Close Encounters of the Second Kind, at least trace evidence behind, I think it is, like imprints on the ground. CE3, let's see, what was that one? Or maybe that's the trace element one. CE2 might be seeing aliens. CE3 might be trace evidence. And CE4 is abductions. And CE5 is actually making communication with aliens. See if I can find the charts anyway. Let's see. I think I had it up last time, the 5CE UFO chart. Oh well, just try that. No, it didn't come up, did it? What does CE mean? UFO. If I would get a chart. I have found it before. A nice little chart tells you. I have returned. Who's returned? Hang on. Noah, how's it going? So, what are the CEs? Urban Dictionary, probably on that maybe. I know it's talking about the word UFO. What is close encounter of this kind? Maybe come up with that. Maybe the Wikipedia has it. Don't trust Wikipedia. Of course, Wikipedia has been actually quite good in recent years because they got more checkers, and so here we go. It breaks it down for us. Has it got CE5 there? Fourth kind, fifth kind. Oh, we got some more here. Close encounters of the fifth kind. A UFO event that involves direct communication between aliens and humans. Close encounters of the sixth kind. Death of a human or animal associated with a human sign. Oh, okay. Has someone died from the UFO, have they? Close encounter of the seventh kind. Creation of a human-alien hybrid. Okay, I suppose they had to add that in. How about contact with a hybrid? Either by sexual reproduction. Probably should have contact in that list there too, shouldn't it? So, what is second kind? A UFO event which the physical effect is alleged. Okay. Interference and functioning of the vehicle. Okay. Third kind, which is the movie. UFO encounters in which an emanated creature is present, so you see the alien itself. So the second one is physical effect or trace evidence, I guess. First kind, visual sighting, which is what we mostly see on UFO channels. Seems less than 50 feet away, 500 feet away. What's this one here? Abductions. Close encounters of the fourth kind of the event where a human is abducted. Yep, so I got that one right. This type was not included in Hynek's original case encounters scale. Hynek, Associated Jack Valet, argued in the Journal of Scientific Exploration that the fourth kind should refer to cases where witnesses experience a transformation of their sense of reality, so as to also include non-abduction cases. So yeah, it's a pretty good little Wikipedia thing there. I'll just post it up there. CEs, as it's called. Of course, Greer sort of pioneered the five kind with his meditative treks out into the desert or mountains or whatever. So going back to Dr. Greer that we covered last time, I found a few more articles on him. So the first one was on how legitimate is the work of Dr. Stephen Greer regarding UFOs. So someone's asked in the community here on a web page, and this person here from a software consultant has actually done a good reply, I think. I will admit that I have not read all Greer's books or watched all his videos, but from what I have read and seen, I think I can formulate a valid opinion of his work. I'll see if I can get it to read out, because I need to get a drink. My thing is UFO people are always looking up at the sky. I don't know about you, but when I go out, I'm more focused on the sky than I am directly in front of me and on the ground than most people. So, yeah, when you go walking at night time with a dog, you expect to see maybe even a meteorite to flash up in the sky, which you would miss otherwise. So, yeah. UFO folk believers are more likely to see a UFO because they're always looking up rather than other people that are too busy watching sport and TV or whatever. And of course, if they meditate and they're trying to do Dr. Greer stuff, it wouldn't be surprisingly that one of them will going to see a UFO at some stage because they go out looking in the sky, seeing if a UFO is going to pop up. So yeah, let's just get this going here. But I'm not seeing any proper experiments done with it, and people always make excuses. Oh, it's not been captured on film because aliens know you're filming them, or aliens know to mess around with the cameras. But there's no reason why you can't set up cameras on top of cars certain distance away from the location or around the location, right? And also have them in Faraday cages. There's no reason why you can't invent a Faraday cage around a camera. It's down to microwave level, radio frequency or various frequencies. I've talked about that in previous lives. You know, how would you be able to capture abduction on video? I can't remember what live stream it was now, 44 or something like that probably. Suppose it's not going to work today. Is it going to work? Or have we been banned again? Come on.
Greer.
Alright, now it's going to let it read it out. So I'll just read out what he's saying here. It's a bit of a chunk.
Greer makes a lot of fantastic claims. Whether or not any truth is among them, who can really tell? He does make some fallacious arguments for some of his claims. According to Greer, he has been in contact with different alien species through some form of meditation. The problem with this claim is, how do you prove it? There could be other explanations. For example, what if the aliens he thinks he is communicating with are some form of unconscious intelligence that exists right here on the Earth? Sure, that is an exotic idea, but not completely out of the question. Or the intelligence are dimensional, not extraterrestrial. Having studied UFOs for nearly 20 years now, I can say that I lean more towards Jacques Vallée's and Terence McKenna's hypothesis. But I won't go into all that detail. The point is, Greer cannot prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he has actually communicated with real flesh and blood aliens. For all we know, Greer is delusional. If he is a very dangerous person. He is obviously highly intelligent. Delusional plus high intelligence equals dangerous. Like so many others in the UFO field, Greer asks us to believe what he says. The evidence he offers is not convincing. Why does he so desperately need people to believe him? As for the Disclosure Project, I am not impressed. Despite the credentials of many of the members, not one can prove any of their claims. Furthermore, this is nothing new to the UFO community. There have been high-ranking military and government officials coming forward for nearly 60 years. What good has it done? I once met a lady who attended one of Greer's outings. She claims that Greer had a UFO come down, invisible of course, and land on top of them. She said they were in the ship, but couldn't he see it? He actually charged people to do this. I find that highly suspicious.
Yes, so do I. So there have been claims of big UFOs flying over groups and all that, but no one's actually caught any evidence of it. So he's talking about invisible UFOs here. A UFO is cloaked and landing right over top of us. Somehow I don't think so. If you go back to the African school contact, you know, where the UFO comes down and a group of school kids approach it, that's the sort of thing that you'd expect to happen, really. If you can communicate with aliens, you would expect them to maybe land or come to greet you, right? And then wipe your memory off the event. and all your cameras, so you never have any proof. Some people obviously believe him. One thing with Greer, he's definitely a good organizer. You can't take that away from him. He's got people in great power situations like Mitchell, the astronaut, to come and join him at the meetings to talk about, well, these unknown craft entering the airspace in America. Now, as you saw in the Mitchell thing that I pointed out last time, that Mitchell did at first agree to meet and talk openly about what he's heard from insiders, but he hasn't actually seen any UFOs himself or any of the stuff they claim. And if it's happening, then he agreed that it should be disclosed, because he wants to know as well about if we're being visited by aliens. Of course, everybody wants to know before you die that there's more to the universe than just us in it. You know, it's trillions of stars and trillions of planets, and we're just the only people alive in the whole universe. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? So what's the biggest one? So what's these other guys saying? Is that about something else? Let's see, Tony. We'll just have a listen to what this guy has to say.
One can debunk events, not people. As for Dr. Stephen Greer's disclosure project, it is not true that all of the so-called witnesses have had their stories debunked. Some still remain classified as unknown. The US government's position is that the UFO phenomena does not prove the existence of extraterrestrial life. The problem, as I see it, are Dr. Greer's latest forays in the realm of exopolitics. Through his Sirius disclosure project, he claims that covert interests are laying the foundation of a false alien threat, leading to a potential military takeover. National security state and covert military operations have staged false alien abductions and mutilations. Technologies developed since the 1940s enable paramilitary unacknowledged special access projects, USAPs, to affect human consciousness. Man-made UFOs, Hollywood-style staging, and very advanced electronic warfare systems enable USAPs to stage abductions, mutilations and other false flag events, and how these have conditioned and prepared the world through the fear of aliens for the coming hoax of an official alien threat. New, official Air Force whistleblower testimony confirms this false flag plan. The emergence by 1956 of advanced electronic warfare technologies that affect consciousness, and how these psychotronics can give a target victim any experience that is scripted. All this is in addition to Dr. Greer's focus on higher consciousness as the means to contact aliens, and how the experience of cosmic consciousness and other higher states of consciousness will provide the foundation for peace on Earth and universal peace. The latter are familiar New Age bromides, while the former demand incontrovertible proof. Despite this, I do not doubt Dr. Greer's veracity nor that of his followers. And while I do believe that, as the Brookings Institute has recommended, the government would withhold any evidence of extraterrestrial contact from the public, I also believe that the onus is on exopoliticians to provide the evidence to support their claims.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff said there. So Greer sees the aliens as space brothers. I think it's the terminology there. Well, if you talk to people like Il from MUFON, that clearly is not the case. Aliens are not friendly. There's a lot of bad evilness about the alien encounter as well. Is it possible that there's two types of aliens, or different types of aliens within the same race? Of course there is, because it's the same in the humans as well. There's evil humans and there's good humans, but to say that all the aliens are space brothers is wrong, and that cattle mutilations is all false flag and all that sort of stuff may be wrong as well. So obviously when people are abducted, you know, the kids are abducted from their families, that's obviously hostile. That's evil. It's not like they say, hello, we're your space brothers, we'll show you around our ship and tell you what we know about the universe, and we want to ask you a favor, that can we take some blood of yours so we can do some science on it. They don't do that. They take people against their will, and they take away their eggs and their DNA and start doing experiments on it. So that's kind of like the evilness of it all, right? So another guy here talks about his dad. They go and confirm the people that are being given testimony, and he comes back and says yes, he can confirm 2 of the 3 credible people and what they say they are, and the 3rd one was too hot to touch, apparently. It says here, too hot. So remember also the deathbed confessions of this disclosure project was a bit of a disaster. You had that guy that I talked about, Boyd Bushman, that was showing a picture of an alien which turned out to be a doll that you could buy from Amazon, you know, alien doll. So yeah, there's a few more people commenting on that post there that I posted down the side there if you want to go and read it. So that's one side of the CE stuff, and Dr. Greer. Now, another person's website is called The Angry Ufologist, which I've got here. And how do we share his thing? Why is it coming up with that? Oh, right. Not secure. Looks like his certificate has run out. He actually posts some of my videos up there on his channel. I'm not sure if he still does. Haven't heard from him. I'm not too sure who runs it. Does he say his name at all in the article? Regardless, he does some good research here and puts it all together. So I'll just post the link there. But I'll go through and read out some of it. Actually, I'll get it to read out some of it, and I'll need to go to toilet. So I'll do that while it's reading it out. So yeah, it's quite interesting, the stuff that he reveals here that may not be known about Greer. Positive proof that Dr. Stephen Greer is a fraud, liar, and psychopath. So obviously he hasn't been sued or attacked by Greer over this post. So I'll just see how much we can read of this one. And then we get down to the good bit here of the butterfly, which he said was a critter or whatever, a space brother. Okay. Let's see if that works. Did I pick the right one?
This guy above most UFO fraudsters bothers me more than most. Okay, I'll be honest, he pisses me right off. He had such potential to make a difference in ufology.
Yes, he did.
Having the smarts to become a medical doctor does not necessarily mean that you have any scruples, ethics, or a higher calling. I do not blame the casual UFO enthusiast for liking this guy. He is slick in his presentation and spouts nonsense that people like. The whole Space Brothers sort of thing. Who doesn't he like the idea that highly advanced aliens have our best interests in mind? He caters to the religiosity of ufology. Like all evangelists, there is always a time where the hat gets passed around, time to pay good hard cash for your faith. Sickening in the extreme. He claims in his youth being able to contact extraterrestrials at will through his awesome mind power of meditation. Funny now, he now charges thousands of dollars for his minions to follow him into the woods with flashlights and lasers to vector one in on his midnight UFO vectoring sessions. Whatever that means. He makes all of his minions sign super strict non-disclosure agreements so they cannot talk about any aspect of their experiences with Greer and his jolly band of fraudsters. This threat of legal action against his paying followers is why you have not heard widespread screams of "this guy is full of crap." Of the 100 seconds of UFO vectoring sessions that he took in bag loads of money for. He has not released any credible evidence of ET contact at all. Nothing, neither, because he claims that he has had vast ET contact, pulls in 1,000 of people who have more money than brains out on his vectoring hunts. All armed with high-end cameras and recording devices, yet nothing. Greer's extraordinary claims have brought zero credible evidence. If any of his outlandish claims are true, he would be catching it on video, all the time. We wouldn't need any disclosure project. He could contact them and have his people video them from multiple angles. Why didn't he video his successful attempts and make this whole disclosure issue moot? Reason being is that he is full of shit.
So basically he's saying there that yeah, if he's in contact with aliens, it should be quite easy to get some really good evidence on multiple cameras, and also maybe even have someone from the press join one of the groups where it happens. Someone credible, you know. Although it's very hard to find credible reporters nowadays, because all of them are sort of reporting fake news or making up fake stories or just not doing the research. And yeah, carry on down here. So I'll just read out the next bit here, because it's well worth having listened to it. Unfortunately my eyes are not that good that I can't go through and read it all for you, so we have to deal with the computer, although it's not perfect.
Greer is probably most famous for his disclosure project. His famous press conference, available on his website, in the summer of 2001 brought many witnesses before the microphone to ask for congressional hearings on the subject. Unfortunately, he brought forth some serious loonies as well, which had the effect of casting doubt on the credible witnesses. Greer is solidly in the exopolitics camp, which has failed to dislodge one shred of evidence of alien visitation. Sorry, Steve Bassett, you anchored your horse to a madman. Greer is quick with the truth and how the field of ufology is often marginalized and subjected to ridicule, while the faceless and nameless bad guys rush in to cover it all up. The reality here is one need not look any further than Greer, among others, for the real problem the UFO field is faced with: the charlatans, delusional personalities, and outright sensationalists who are taking center stage with their completely unfounded and oftentimes exaggerated claims, citing anonymous sources, and offering of not a shred of tangible evidence as to those claims. Always convenient, always bullshit.
Okay, so this is something that comes from Greer that they caught on camera. You can clearly see it's a ladybird or moth. What they say here? Light being, loved one. So I haven't actually seen this before, but it's kind of funny. So just read out that bit there.
For a time, Greer's website sported the creature on the left, claiming it had been photographed during one of Greer's midnight UFO vectoring sessions, along with various entities looking suspiciously like lens reflections. Affectionately dubbed Matara by Greer's detractors, this picture and others like it were removed to howls of laughter. Not to be outdone, Greer also claims he has developed a zero-point energy device that can be held in one hand and is capable of powering small cities. His website for this venture is the Advanced Energy Research Organization, AERO, which claims such technologies have been brutally suppressed by big oil, nasty government, and assorted other villains. It is supposed to be available real soon now, any day, right around the corner, imminently. And in the meantime, you surely can invest in this technology, which will make you insanely rich. You would have to be insanely gullible to invest in anything this man touches.
Yep. And then you got this thing here as well, the baby alien for his movie, which was a laughing stock really. Turned out to be a regular human fetus that had the extra rib. And there was some talk about it, that they were upset that it was dug out a grave next to a church or something. Was it a cemetery or something? Disrespecting the dead. there was a bit of outcry about all that. So let's read out some of the last bits here.
Just think about it. After 15 years, Aero and its predecessors have not generated 1 single watt of electricity. But Greer has held one of these devices in his hands, just as he has held an alien baby in his arms. Greer is a verifiable medical doctor. He could not tell that his alien baby was human. What crap any physician would be able to tell that little fellow was full human? He threw out his medical ethics and showed his hand of being a con artist when he claimed this was an alien. It has been proven subsequently to be a human fetus. Explain your bullshit, Greer. Yep, the cover-up was on once again, with Greer not being able to name his supposed insider sources, not providing a speck of evidence, and Greer once again representing the truth about UFOs. You people don't really believe he consults with world leaders? What bullshit. Prove it, Greer, you flatulent douchebag. In Stephen Greer's book, Extraterrestrial Contact, Greer claimed to have been directly briefed about UFOs by R. James Woolsey, the former director of the CIA, at a dinner party. Shortly after Greer published his book with his apparently exaggerated account of what had taken place, Woolsey and others present at the dinner sent Greer a letter trying to set the record straight. While this is old news, it has been hidden fairly well to keep the image of this delusional lunatic intact.
Okay, so it's well known that Greer has met up with powerful people. Because people that been at the meeting admit it, but this one here about this letter is quite interesting. Apparently Greer has fabricated a lot of stuff. So let's see if we can zoom in and read it. So it was a dinner party with Woolsey and former director of CIA. Who else was there? We got some names at the bottom. John Peterson, Diane Peterson, Woolsey, Susan. Okay, what does it say here? Dear Dr. Greer, it's just come to my attention of the 4 of us that you have, without giving any of us opportunity to comment, published a distorted account of the dinner party of some 6 years ago, at which the 4 of us, you and your wife, were seated together. In the introduction to your book, Extraterrestrial Contact, published earlier this year, you portrayed the dinner party conversation during which the 4 of us listened to your views and politely asked questions as a briefing with a cover story. Your further assert that Mr. and Mrs. Woolsey reported a UFO sighting to you and agreed with your views. You include specific alleged quotations from them. None of that is accurate. You have portrayed politeness as acquaintances and questions as affirmations. Your conduct in this manner converses both accuracy and simple madness. Sincerely. So yeah, he twisted the words that they said at the dinner table and claiming that they admitted to things which they didn't. So yeah, I suppose if you're going to have a dinner date with Dr. Greer, best to record it so you can play it back and say, yeah, he lied. But yeah, that's an example there of putting together a book, maybe with some rubbish or inaccurate stuff, and making $1 million out of it. So Shut up, you crazy bee. Slandered the director without conscience or remorse. There you go. Greer is just another con man and a long line of them in ufology. He sells his truth to his more than eager followers. Truth of a UFO enigma is not for sale by charlatan authors. So that's the thing there. If you want to be believable, right, you know, he's a doctor, so he didn't have to have another, he didn't have to make UFO field his income. Doctors, as you know, get paid very well. You go to a doctor for 15 minutes and they charge you quite a chunk of money. So yeah, he could do that all day long and do UFO stuff on the weekends, right? So then take people out to the desert, and they can donate things to him if they want to, or buy his books or whatever. But yeah, if you want to be believable, you don't charge anybody anything. You just say, who wants to join me this weekend to go and try and contact aliens? The first 50 can come along with me, right? And so you put up a thing on your bulletin board or personal website where people fill it in, and then you contact and organise them, or get a secretary or someone else to do that, and get people to all show up and go, you know, start filming the contact. So that would be more believable, but now he's charging like $2,000 a head to go and do that sort of stuff. And of course he claims that he talks to aliens while he's meditating. Of course there's no way you can prove that either way, right? So this is basically what this guy's saying. Truth is free, you know. If you have to pay for it, you should realize you are being taken for a fool. And that's the saying for people being conned to donate lots to Secureteam, right? If you're really interested in the subject, you shouldn't be asking people for money. They should be quite happy to fund you by finding the links in your description, right? And you shouldn't have to keep pointing it out to them. Also, Google people by watching it, paying him. But the problem with Secureteam, as you know, he's not a real UFO researcher, and he has been caught faking stuff. And I've covered it many times, so I'm not going to go over that again. But you can just go and watch the past videos on it. Go and have a look at the playlist, Truth About Secureteam, if you've not seen it. So they truly hate this man for the simple fact that he have brought a level of responsibility to the ufology. He pissed it away. He now one of the most dangerous hoaxes we have. And now we've got him bringing up in this new UFO leak of the century, right? He has slightly plausible stick with medical credentials. He is no longer a practicing doctor. He's no longer a practicing doctor, maybe because he could not tell a human's fetus from an alien. So this guy's really getting stuck into him. You either agree with him or you don't. But yeah, it's well worth bringing up some of the things he pointed out there with the letter and fetus and the so-called light being, which is clearly, what did they say it is? Well, the real name of it, I suppose it's type of butterfly. Moth, a moth. There you go, moth. Free viewing. You can see it for free. Don't have to pay. What is it? $800. What is it? Greer, Sea City, extraterrestrial entity. Viewing fee $800. So was that on his website? Was it to be able to get access to it? So yeah. So that's 2 hours done. So we can start look at some MUFON stuff now, I guess. I think that's pretty much it. All this other stuff with Einstein
Extreme finitism.
and double slit experiment we'll look at another time. So yeah, Occam's razor. Remember that terminology being used around? Occam's razor, what is it? Is the principle from which philosophy suppose there exists two explanations for a occurrence. In this case, the one that requires the least speculation is usually correct. Another way of saying it is the more assumptions you have to make, the more unlikely explanation. So yeah, so if you hear a conclusion of how something works in science, you can apply that terminology, Occam's razor. Quantum electrical particles or double slit experiments, entanglement. It's really complex stuff that they've come up with to explain it, and that sort of nails it down there. The more complex the explanation, the more unlikely it is. Because Mother Nature is not that complex, really. She does things to conserve energy, to take the easiest path to a solution. So that's why we have a round planet, a sphere, because it's the perfect shape, right? And takes the least energy between 2 points to form, with gravity and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we need to look at so that was the triangle one I talked about first of all there, which is now closed, and so we'll go back and have a look at some more cases, I guess, and see what's around. Okay, so what have we got around here? Want something with photograph or video? Strange program. It keeps putting some up there and then they disappear. Depending how far you zoom in. See that? Of course, we've not got no photograph. Right, we got one. Military jet, is it? What does it say here? En route. So it's probably going to be a hoax or something, is it? So let's have a look. It's amazing what rubbish people submit to MUFON. Long description. What's at the Black Mall Box location? Area 51, is it? Photographing jet aircraft doing air combat drills over Area 51 range. I also review my images when I get home and spotted a particular aircraft was in direct flight path to intercept these two bright objects. So let's have a look. Okay, so we've got a contrail. So we're not going to be able to see much on that, are we? Not sure what we need to see on that. Again, so we're going to have to zoom right in, I think. What's this one here? Why is this different? Can't see anything on that one. Well, this is something over here. Is that on my screen or is that on the picture? Okay, so we need to go through and save some. See what can we spot on it. But yeah, pixel UFOs again. Not too exciting. I'm not saving it. HTML, we don't want HTML. Okay, so let's go to the download folder. Okay, so we got the wrong thing here. So we want to have a look at this one here, see if we can spot anything on it. Just have to look at the normal viewer. Oh, why is it opening? Oh, it's a JF. Let's see. Open with. Choose another program. Paint. What's it called? It's photo viewer thoughts. That one there. Okay. Oh. Okay, we'll just quickly view it on this. See if we can spot anything. Okay, obviously that's the plane leaving the contrail, and it's not even formed, so I'm not sure what it's going to be chasing. Yeah. These two white objects. Let's see. You can hardly notice the plane here, so that's going to be pretty high up. 38,000 feet. And how far away? And we've got these little bright objects up here. Not going to be able to tell much from that, are we? Possibly two more planes, or even a weather balloon, or two weather balloons, or something similar to that. It's hard to know. Well, we'll just plug it into the editor. So what was the other one he was talking about? We'll go back to it in a minute. Whereabouts was it now? It's very hard to see it up here, was it? Could be just clouds forming, of course. I see some cloud layer here. It's not too far away from the cloud. So let's have a look. Who's out there still? Anybody? Paint into a new layer. Image. Oh yeah, looks like I got it. Am I still being heard? Alright. I guess so. Looks like it's working alright here. Still not big enough, is it? Need to zoom in a bit more. Okay, it kind of looks like it could be clouds. after all. Definitely looks like it's two little puffs of clouds there, right? Now we run it through some filters. Brightness. You can see here, looks whispery edges on it, just like clouds have. That one's not defined at all very much. We can plug it through color swap, see if that brings out some. Clues. So that sort of looks like cloud up there, right? When you look at through the various different filters here, or changing whites to blacks or blues and greens. That wasn't too bad. You can see it's sort of whispery. It definitely looks like clouds. Huh? Clouds form, those form out of thin air really. As the air gets cooler, denser, they form, and then if it gets warmer, then it breaks apart again. And that especially shows us here because of the contrail that's happening, that there's got to be a layer where this craft is going, where the ice crystals are forming, which is where cloud is dense, forming denser. The water vapors condensing to form rain clouds. So that one's no mystery there. So what's the next one? I think it's probably just another shot of the same thing. Okay, so we don't want to waste more time on that one. So let's save this one, see what we can see in it. I see the new format is called a JFIF, not a JPEG anymore. But it's the same thing. Is that because of copyright claim or something? So there's something new that we have to deal with. So what was the other one he said? Anything in that? I never saw the objects. No, because it's just cloud. One frame bright object. So view my images. I spotted a particular aircraft was in direct flight path. Two bright objects, which are clouds. I shoot another frame. The objects has moved to the east, and the plane never saw them. And so the clouds are in a slipstream there, obviously forming and disappearing again. I never saw these objects as well. See, that's why you need to see it in the video. A video, you can see the clouds moving along, forming, and then dispersing again, and then forming again. My cloud camera was a blah blah blah. So doesn't talk about this other thing here. 3 frames a second. A lot of details about the camera. Okay, so let's have a look at this other picture then. Yeah, what was that one? Oh, right, did I bring that up too? That was about the documents again. Let's see. Oh yeah, he said he got these documents, or Cameron got his documents in 2008, which wasn't 10 years ago, right? But as you see, it's way after 2013 radio chat. Miller has issued a denial about the cut and paste, which we did cover. And this is a good reason up here why these people bring out this stuff, you know, donations like that. So he's making plenty of money from it. So yeah, that just falls more speculation of who's behind it, who's profiting from it. So where was the download folder anyway? That was the one. Okay, can we see anything in this one that's worth investigating? Can't see anything popping out. Certainly a load of clouds. So can't ask anyone else out there if they spot something. Not sure what meant to be finding in this. You can see it's quite hazy here. Very hazy. What's that kind of fog in the desert? Water vapor. Yes, the sun's coming up. What's that, cactuses or something? Tundra. Looks like it could be cactuses. Oh, there's one. Close up of one. What is it? Is it a cactus or some crazy shaped tree? Some sort of palm tree, is it? I don't know. What is it? Doesn't look like a cactus. Maybe it's the flowers it has on it though. I don't know. But that's probably what all these are. But I can't see any UFO in this. Pixel UFOs are not exciting, so let's just move on, see what else we can find. Picture. Witness saw 3 lights. Okay, let's have a look. Another triangle UFO. I'll just check the audio on this. Is it working? Picture. Witness saw 3 lights. Okay, let's have a look. Looks like it's still working. Alright, cool. I just have to check that from time to time. So, yeah, so what do we got here? The problem with lights in the sky, 3 lights are always going to form a straight line, a single dot, or a triangle, aren't they? So let's save the image. Did I do the right one? JPEG, yep. So, are we going to be able to do much with this one? It looks pretty grainy, nighttime, low light, smartphone snap, overexposed there. Could be that thing up there that we're looking at. Is it through a car window? Could be a reflection, of course. House light, maybe. Or a truck coming towards them. So, yeah. Not too exciting one again, unfortunately. That could be a plane up in the sky. Could be the nose light, tail lights going that direction, and the wingtip light. They have white lights on the inside of thing. Sometimes you don't see the color flash. Bit hard to tell what that is. Could probably plug into flight radar, I guess, and see. So what does he say here? Creating a line, then changed into different types of triangles. So it could be like 3 planes in a distance in that case, by what he's saying. Yes, I think we probably should have a look around, see if we can find something better, more interesting than that. Not enough information to go on there, is there? 2nd of the 6th. Suppose we could see if we can find it on Flight Tracker. We haven't used it for a while. Problem is, we've got to find whereabouts it is. Seems to be going alright with the software. Haven't heard any glitches or anything. So we want America. Currently in darkness, some of it. Oh, it's heading into darkness by the looks of it. That makes sense because New Zealand's coming up to 4 o'clock, which is normally where I end stuff, but I started a wee bit late. So not far away before we get too dark, and I've got to take the dog out, so I'll probably be wrapping up soon. So yeah, I like this new map they've got here, showing what the time is in darkness. So yeah, whereabouts was the location? Whoa, right in there. Whoa, look how crazy the skies are at the moment. So am I still logged into that? Gold, yep, still logged in. It hasn't logged me out. Okay, because I paid for a year membership. Now just to do this, I don't make any money out of it. The donations I get actually go back into the channel. So far, lucky I got another income. And I've been doing this for two and a half years, or probably longer than that now. But yeah, we'll just find where this location is. Colorado. Let's see if I can find it on the map. We'll probably have to bring up the map here. So we need to find that location here. On the map. It's not quite in the middle of America there. Somewhere there. Here's Colorado, I suppose. CO. Oh, where's it gone? Colorado Springs. And you can see there's a bit of mountain range there that they lose the signal for the call ID of the planes, which is going to cause a bit of a problem, I guess, in this location. But yeah, Denver Airport up there. Skinwalker Ranch up here somewhere. What did it say again? How close? It's above Denver Airport box up. So it's got to be upwards about here somewhere. And here somewhere. So obviously you're going to see planes heading towards the airport, right? Straight away. You can see there's going to be some flight paths. I can't see it. What was that? Long something. Left land. I can't see exactly where they were. That's always a problem. Longmount. What else is near it? Boulder, Broomfield. Boulder. There we are, Longmount. So it's not too far away from the main airport then. There it is there. Flight path heading straight from that location to that location, right? So now you'd have to play the wayback function, but you've got to make a big screen because we lose the thing down here. So well, it looks like we're going to run out of time. I'm going to have to probably leave on this case actually. 2nd of January, June I mean. I've actually got the doctors this Friday coming, so yeah, July. So we need to plug that in there. So we need to work what that time is in my time, because that's what the software uses. So 21st, probably be 16 hours ahead, I suppose. So I have to convert it to my time. So I have to say that to New Zealand time. 18 hours ahead, right? Currently, with the daylight savings and all that. If I got it right, so we got to add on. Well, it's almost the correct time here, I think. 21. What time was it? 21:25 is 15. So it's already told us here, because that's the current time at the moment, right? It's almost the current time. That was kind of lucky. So we're going to be looking Sunday, my time, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Is that morning? No, it's not. Afternoon. We're at this time now. Saturday. So I have to put that on there. So it'll be the day forward plus what was it? 6 hours, which makes it that time. So let's plug it into the plane finder. Play back. So we want the second, well, no, the 3rd of June. Is it? Was it on the list? 3rd, and at 3 o'clock my time, wasn't it? What was it? 15. I hate date time zones. 15. Why is it not working? 15. About 20 minutes. 15 minutes past. So that should be correct. See if there's any planes in the sky around this location here on that date. And there's lots. So there you go. 3 small planes. So there's probably our connection there. 3 small planes flying around. What are they? Cessna or something? Yeah, these little ones. Be the light, front light on my planes there. I think we've probably solved that one already there. Forming triangles, 3 planes, 3 lights. 18 past. There's the 3 planes still. Oh, one there. What's that one? Another small plane. Uh, 24 past. And we got these little small planes everywhere. I'd say that's pretty much it, you know. Another one coming in here. That fits. So that's how you can solve it. Just plain lights, 3 little planes flying around. So he's a UFO believer, of course. So we're coming up to 3 hours, 40 minutes. I think I might leave it there, but I'll just have a quick look again. I'll just close that down. Shame it doesn't remember your last location. There's no way to set your last location on this. So that one's solved. Triangle lights. Was that bigger? Oh, right, that's right, because I had to get to the side panel. Okay, what else we got? Anything else that might be interesting here? Did we look at that one already? Black orbs, 2 black orbs, I don't think so. Don't think anyone's going to join me on chat today. Bit of a shame, but I think John was tired and couldn't figure out how to get to the live room. I don't know why. It's pretty easy, as you can see in the presentation there. Okay, so we want to save this image. I can see something there, I think. It's hard to know whether you got specs on your screen or not, because I forgot to clean it again. So let's download that one. Is it still working alright? Just check the volume levels. Yep. Okay, is it saved? Yep. Okay. So it's around the right way now. So straight away I have the impression that's probably a bird. Or butterfly maybe. Another pixel UFO, guys. So let's see what it says. Not much. 2 black dots. Well, I think I only saw one in the picture there, but we'll have a look again. I suppose it could look like 2, maybe. Let's see, we've got 2 photographs here, so let's see. Okay, looks like there's the second one there. Look like 2 black birds, ravens, circling around. Or what they have in America there, buzzards, is it? It's a bit hard to tell, isn't it? It kind of looks like an outline of a bird gliding. Looks like a tail there, wings spread out. Oh well, not another exciting one. But we'll have a better closer look at it. That's the wrong one. Okay, where's the black specks? See one there, I think. Lots of pixels, but UFOs, pixels. I'll have to do my super zoom for cutting. Oh, there we go. How many pixels across are we talking about here, you know? One's there. Don't think I got it very well. And the other one was down here somewhere. Oh. Okay, we got it. Copy, placed into a new image, and there we go. And we'll just scale it up. It's still not big enough, is it? Starting to see camera artifacts from the compression there. See how you get the white outline happening? That's due to compression of the colors. Or in this case, JPEG, it will be the pixels as well. So we got compression artifacts there. It does sort of look like a bird though. Let's see. don't know if we can enhance it at all. We can give it a try. It does have that triangle shape of a bird. I don't think we've got enough pixels to work with. Or enough colours to work with. Perhaps we can sharpen it. Who's out there? Anybody down the side chat? I'll be winding up soon. Very soon. I've got to do stuff. Okay, there we go. Could it be a kite? It's very hard to tell. Bird, kite. Don't know if we can do much more of it without putting artifacts itself. Have a look at the other one in the image. Okay. So that sort of shape, you know. Could be a kite, it could be a drone, bird, butterfly. But that's pretty high up though. By the looks of it. So it's got to be something fairly large, like a large black bird of some kind, or a kite. So if we have a look at this other one, is that the one? I think that was it. Looks very similar. You know, with all the camera technology we got today, you'd think people would be able to take better pictures, but unfortunately these camera phones are not that good because they don't have optical zoom, and you need like 30 times zoom, 50 times zoom to get up to see these objects in the sky here, and that would give us some more information to go with. Of course, if we saw a video, if they did a video, that would give us plenty of clues, because then we got the movement, right? And you can see it's that similar shape going on. So you're not going to be able to do much with it. Look, it's not going in the opposite direction. Could be two stealth planes, could it? Stealth planes like that shape? It's very possible, I guess. We've got no idea how high up it is. A video would give us all the clues that we need. And of course, military planes are probably not going to be on the radar map. Okay, that one's got something else going on with it. Because it's sort of not constant black going on around this one, I would suggest it would be a bird's wings flapping. Looks a bit more transparent than a solid craft. Alright, definitely got transparent bits on it, which suggests a bird. Do some more color curves on it. We're starting to see the compression artifacts of the JPEG coming in. These blobby bits. I still think it's a bird. A couple of birds gliding on the air currents. What was the location? What kind of birds do they have there? Alright, here we go. Images. That could be a prime target. 2 black vultures. What they look like flying in the sky. Vultures, birds of... Don't tell us. What's their wingspan look like? And there, pretty big wingspan going on there. And they do have kind of long legs. See how the legs got triangle bits at the back here. So let's see, vultures. John would know if he was here. Okay. How do we spell their names? Vulture. Flying. Pretty big wingspan. And that one looks more off the V shape that was going on. Bit hard to tell, but yeah. Let's have a look. Okay. Kind of does look like it could be, if you did blur it out, it kind of fits. That one there. It's a bit hard to tell. Or it could be in the case of a kite and a bird in the sky. It could be 2 things going on. Now there's some patterns here. Yeah, it might be a vulture. Buzzard. What else could it be? Anyway, not much we can do with that one. I think I'll wrap up now. We're coming up to 3 hours. We got there in the end. Hopefully we can yeah, run to my life likes and people untick today. What we should do is the quantum entanglement next time, hopefully, unless there's more UFO stuff to bring up. I'll go into the science stuff instead for the change. If my mind's ready for it. I'll wrap into it. Yeah, I'll leave it there for the time being. So I'll just close down the end credits, and thanks for joining us, liking, sharing, and hopefully commenting. People don't seem to give me much feedback, don't have their opinions, don't want to debate or anything, so that's a bit of disappointment there. Probably won't need to keep those. Don't save, bang. I don't need that anymore. And I'll just close that down. So yeah, end credits, and good night everybody, and thanks for joining us. Hopefully it all works out alright this time. How's it playing? Okay, 30 seconds behind probably. Good night everybody. Thanks for having us. Take care on the roads.